You're still watching Prime Morning. It's time for News Flash. My name is Roslyn Felly. Let's quickly delve into what the newspapers have for us this morning, and then we will have our guests seated so we start our conversation. But then you at home can join the conversation as well by sending in your messages, and when we activate the phone lines, we hope to hear your voice as well. So sending your messages to our WhatsApp number. You can leave it as we stream live on air on Facebook. Just leave your comments there. We'll definitely love to read it. Let's know what's happening in your communities. Let's start with a new Crusading Guide newspaper. ICUMS, Integrated Customs Management System. ICUMS welcome OSP's interest in its platform. Nick Dansu says it's a refreshing development. Heady days to Asin North by-election. Ongoing infrastructure development, not new. Chief Defense Government. Trade and Industry Minister inaugurates GEA MSME Grant Committee. GES Teachers Licensure Exams, only 1,277 resitters passed. 6,451 failed. Wow. Anyway, more here. Just Phone Group organizes Olympics for staff. That'll be it for the new Crusading Guide newspaper. Let's quickly do the Daily Analyst newspaper as well. Yvonne Nelson's book hits number 3 on Amazon. Don't create tension in Asin North. Chiefs appeal to politicians. Mass failure hits teacher licensure exams. Over 6,000 teachers fail resit exams. National Teaching Council worried. I am even worried, and I know a lot of people are worried as well. Daily hearings. Court adjourns Question's application to tomorrow. And Asamoah Gyan retires at age 37. Asamoah Gyan is 37 years. Wow. Up 25 years. Anyway, that's it for the Daily Analyst newspaper. And let's not forget that Asamoah Gyan is 37 years. The Finder newspaper. Doomsday must stop. Death threats forced me into hiding for 2 weeks. Yvonne Nelson says so in her book. We are doing the Finder newspaper. The Finder. Afrexim Bank to support Ghana's investment in railway development. Joshua Quayson files motion for variation in day-to-day trial. Afrexim Bank to disburse $40 billion in 5 years to help boost intra-Africa trade for growth and prosperity. This is great, and we are hoping that it does happen. Let's do the Publisher newspaper. The Publisher newspaper. Tamale Abuabo Timber Market set for redevelopment, says Lands Minister. Ejako pledges hope, calls for free and fair process. Kwadwo Afari writes, is our presidential race turning into a freak show? This will be an interesting read, and I can't wait to delve into that as well. Government must declare war on economy, says Professor Bobkin. As I said, I can't wait to delve into that. I'm not saying we are discussing it. I'm just saying that I can't wait to delve into it and read it more, because I want to know if what he's saying could be true or probably a lie. The Daily Guide newspaper will be our final newspaper. Mob chase killer caught in court. And we all remember the cop that killed his girlfriend in Kumasi. When he went to court, the mob chased him and his life is even at risk. But I'm surprised that, anyway, let me leave this here and let the court make a decision on it. Bawulaya is NDC creation, report says so. Berger MP's review motion today. Ghana earns 153.9 million euros from timber export. We'll do some entertainment in here as well. Ghanaian heritage films don't sell. FIPAC president says so. Benaboy apologizes to Netherlands fans, and Claudia Lumo celebrates father. Okay, some business. Past consumer bills, says CPA, inflation projected to rise. And so this is where, a few Ghanaians are asking where the IMF money is, because we were told that, IMF hits no, fuel price will be okay. We won't have issues with inflation. Life will be better. If we don't get IMF, then we are in trouble. IMF has come and inflation is going up, fuel prices are going up. So what is going on here? That's what Ghanaians are saying. But Ghanaians, take your time. Everything will be all right, okay? Everything will be all right. Saudi side tempt Tottenham's son with 60 million euros plus bonuses. Okay, MTN hosts 100 golfers at Celebrity Golf Club. TT Brothers chides heart and Kotoko, and I deserve to win Ballon d'Or, says Kylian Mbappe. That'll be all for the Daily Guide newspaper, and that'll be all for all the newspapers for this morning. My guest is seated, and he is representing the NDC, Adel Umar. Hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you.
No traffic, I hope.
No, it wasn't too much of the traffic. So my older brother has been, unwell. Oh. So it's been a bit back and forth, very less sleep, but
sorry
I'm here.
Allah will heal him.
Inshallah.
Yeah,
Allah will shafi.
It will happen.
Mashallah.
We have a few topics that we'll discuss this morning. Of course, one of our topics has to do with the Teachers Licensure Exams, so where we have over 6,000 who have even filled, even receipt. This is not the main, this is a receipt where they filled. So people are wondering the kind of questions that, was awarded to them, because when the licensure exams was brought to being, we're told that it's not going to be a general thing. You're going to write based on the course or the subject that you'll be teaching. So you should be able to pass easily. But we are seeing more failures than passes, and people are wondering what is the main reason for that. But before we delve into that, how is the by-elections, the campaign for the by-elections going? Because currently, you do have your biggest person, the one representing the NDC, in court on day-to-day basis. How is he campaigning?
So, Rosalie, let me say a warm good morning to our viewers one more time, and to indicate that last week it was a bit awkward when we basically had that news that Judge Ikwesin would have to basically go to court on a day-to-day basis. I think this is probably part of the plan and the schemes by the MPP government to try and derail the processes the man is actually, and the successes the man is basically chalked in as a north. Look, Atayi, you remember who Atayi is? We remember the issues of, this man who was purported to have been wanting to, act on a coup, who was arrested. The coup makers,
something.
None of these cases were actually run on a daily basis. None of them. We've seen cases where people have actually murdered people. None of them is run on a daily basis. So for Godfrey Dame to actually go to court insisting that on a case like this, he would like to run it on a day-to-day, it's just obvious. I mean, the elections are just around the corner. So, I mean, if he has less time to interact with the people and Charles Owusu is more visible and everybody can see him, it makes a lot of difference. Because from Accra to Assin North is approximately almost 3.5 hours. So you're coming to court, you're sitting, court closes, say, around 2 p.m. in the afternoon. If we're able to hold him till 2 p.m. in the afternoon, between now till the time elections is done, then we have him. But see, Chachuchi Carter has actually appealed that decision, and we're supposed to be, that is supposed to be heard, God willing, tomorrow. We're hoping that the judge would relook at it. You see, some of these things, we have to be careful how we we put across justice to people. This is a man that has sacrificed so much, letting go of his own citizenship, coming back home, Ghana. He's gotten his final documentations, which indicates that he doesn't owe any allegiance to any other country. We just need to give that man an opportunity to do what he can do. In any case,
why didn't you just get somebody else to represent the NDC for this? Because let's not forget that he had already been found guilty on the first half. So why allow him to contest again?
Okay, so he's been found, when you're found guilty on any case, you still have the opportunity to appeal.
Yes.
Are you aware of the fact that even the one that is being held on now, we've actually appealed? But they are going ahead with a criminal case, but we have appealed. On a normal day, you're supposed to even hold on until the appeal is heard, and then we see where it basically ends. But they're going on. So we're saying that, yes, he was, I mean, Rosalie, look, when you walk to Insawam today, and honestly, you want to talk to certain people. I've seen people who have been jailed for things they haven't even actually done before. We cannot conclude for the fact that because he's been proclaimed guilty for the first time, it ends there. It doesn't end there. This is a man who, and I keep saying to people, look, he had an intention. His intention was to renounce his citizenship. Has he done that? Yes, he's done that. So we as a party, we're not letting go of him. We believe in him. Look, the last elections, his vote was far more than what His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo himself got.
So the question here is, why didn't you just let somebody else contest this time round?
He wants to go. The party says we're behind him. We'll let him go.
So what happens if this appeal is not heard by the court?
What happens if the appeal is heard and nothing happens?
So you're just, going
we're saying
to
we're comfortable.
50-50.
We're comfortable. We're very, very comfortable that he's going to go into these elections. He's our best candidate.
Okay.
He's going to go into these elections. He's going to win these elections. We will go to court. We'll go through the processes. We're very, very certain that, inshallah, he would walk out of this. And it's been very good. Like, it's the euphoria. It's just so beautiful.
This day-to-day thing,
Yes.
Isn't it affecting campaign?
No.
It's not?
No.
Because he's going to court on day-to-day basis.
I agree. He's going to court on a day-to-day basis. The idea is that we're going to go to court. Assuming the court decides to throw this thing out, we would still go to court. We would find ways of getting him into the community. If we have to campaign throughout the night and get him to get back to Accra, we will do that.
Okay. We are hoping that the elections will go well. That's all we hope for. And I know the NDC is also hoping that the court will hear them and decide that this man can actually go ahead and contest on behalf of the NDC. Joining us on ticket of NPP is Solomon Asante, who is part of the communications team. Hello, Solomon.
Hello.
How are you today? I'm fine, thank you. Great. So we have 3 topics that will be discussed. So let's start off the very first one because of the time that you got in. So let's just start off with the GES Teachers Licensure Exams. Let me start with Adele so you can relax a little bit and then I come to you. Adele.
Yes.
I said to you earlier, only 1,277 passed. A whooping 6,451 failed. What could be the problem?
So, I'll take you back a little bit. You'd remember, when the whole licensure exams basically started, we had the teachers basically fighting back and forth and saying, look, how do I go to school? You take me to training college. I go to the training college. I learn to teach, basically. I write exams in the training college. And then after writing those exams, I'm supposed to write another exam before I am allowed to basically teach in the classroom. We had this back and forth, for a while. And I thought that it was actually kind of ridiculous to a certain extent. Imagine having to go to the university and do your first degree. So you have your HR certificate, as a first degree holder, and yet you cannot, be appointed into any job position until you write some exam before you can actually, practice. Now, even when you take the issues of, lawyers and the likes, you go through your normal degree, you go to Makola, you go do 2 years. Once you're done with that, you're done with that. Once you're done, you're done.
You've written an exam.
Because you've written an exam. Once you're done, you're done. So it gets a bit worrying. Now, what will be the essence of the school? What will be the essence of all these training colleges? Because this is not something that took place in one part of the country. This is an entirety of the country. What will be the essence of these schools if 6,000 of their students can fail? Not 1, not 2, not 3. 6,000. 80% of them failed. So if you basically went to the training college to study as an English teacher, you're now out and you're supposed to write an exam on English and you fail in English and you fail in maths.
But I remember so well, I had an English teacher who could barely pronounce words.
Well, I mean, it's fine, but I'm saying that, look, so perhaps we have to go back and start looking at how we even take them, what qualifications they actually come,
exactly.
come
don't
with.
You think this licensure exams then is a good thing? Because like you were saying, you've gone to training college and everything. You come to the classroom and sometimes the things you are teaching us, you know that the thing is not right.
Listen, look at it from this angle. Who is setting the exams for the licensure exams?
Okay.
Who is setting the exams? Somebody has to be. Okay? Now, whoever is setting that exam, whatever system has been put in place for this licensure exams, can't that be inculcated in the school? Can't we just pick that system? okay, where we say, okay, so this is how it ought to be, this is the kind of questions you're looking at. Can't we teach them right from the start, instead of having to teach them something else and then they having to now, because on what basis did they pass that exam? When you go to training college and you write exam and you pass, on what basis did they pass? If they can fail, if 6,000 can fail, on what basis did they pass initially? It doesn't make sense.
Right, and this is even a reset.
This is a reset. It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
There are people who have actually also, read through the lines and say, look, there's a possibility. Because, when these markings are done, you don't get to see your script back. And there are people who have actually raised the fact that perhaps because of, job and placements and all of that, maybe government perhaps is playing some games to get a lot of people out so we can get some number, to basically be able to enter. Because it really doesn't make sense. 80%, it doesn't make sense.
Right. Solomon, your take on it?
Thank you very much. In regards to our cherished viewers and my brother here. First of all, I think we should refer to some of the scripts of the failed candidates to be able to inform us as to what actually gave birth to the results that came out. Why am I saying this? Out of 7, 7, 2, 8, and then you have about 1, 2. I mean, it's very alarming. But fortunately, we've had laid hands on some of the scripts. At least I read through a few of the I saw Adam online, and then I got. In fact, I have one in front of me, and look at a question, a simple question like, as a would-be teacher, discuss 3 benefits of homework in teaching and learning. Simple, that's the question. And if you look at the answer, as if they couldn't get the question itself. Let's start with one. Emotions is. Can you just imagine? That's a script.
Let me see this script. Quite interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so
just look. Test this so you can see. Yeah. Okay. So you see. Just look at it.
Okay.
Just look at it, the answer, emotions, and look at the handwriting. Even
is it possible to send it to my producer? So
I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. If it could be shown on the screen.
So we are looking at a situation where this teacher couldn't even answer such a simple question. That's what we are saying, right?
Yes, that is what I.
What's the problem?
Yes.
They went to training college.
Yes.
They are teachers in the training college. They are paying school fees.
Yes.
So where is the problem?
You get your passes, all right. You sail through, and then the main reason, what informed the decision of.
Please send it, or don't forget, because as we are talking about.
What informed the decision of bringing in these licensure exams is what we are seeing.
Do we have a problem with our education system then?
As usual, in a class of quite a number, you find you don't get everybody. I mean, excelling.
This is not quite a number. This is more than.
They are coming from different training colleges.
So is there a problem with our education system? If you have people coming from different training colleges and they are going to write an exam and over 6,000 have failed, and from different training colleges, what is the problem in our education system? Will you liken
that to what happens to us at the entrance exam when we're going to write our entrance exam? I mean, the law faculties come together, right? You have over 4,000 something, and then only 499, whatever. Would you liken that to that?
So we all know that when it comes to the law, they have a number. They have a cap that they go for. So yes, you might have a 10,000 writing, but they will not take all 10,000. And so they have a marking scheme. So what is the issue that we are having in our education system where we are not even saying that we have a cap here? Because we can't compare it to the law. The law has a cap. Here, we don't have a cap.
If that is the angle you'll be going. Let me take you to this.
Okay.
In your class, can you tell me the class of students who finally end up in the training schools? The A students, where do they go? The better ones, where do they go? Which class of students usually, let me use the word, usually find themselves in the training schools?
You don't get my point. Let me help you with what I'm saying. You are saying that we had this number fail, and they are coming from different colleges.
Yes.
And I'm saying that if you're looking at about 7,000 something, and you have over 6,000 failing, the whole of Ghana, this is a failure, a big failure. What is wrong with our training colleges that our teachers come out and they can't even they can't even
understand the question given to them.
They can't construct common English. They can't understand the common questions that have been given to them. What is wrong with it? What is happening with our education system?
I was trying to answer it, but you are not trying to get it.
No, you see, you are asking a question.
No.
And you are trying to say that.
I will not put it in the form of a question.
Okay.
Let me explain it to you.
Explain.
In a class, in my class, my mates who turned out to be teachers during the time that we were in school were not classified as those group of students,
the smart
ones. I hope you understand me. So in that first instance, we have a problem. I hope you understand me. Before they enter into the training college, some, let me not put some. I hope you understand. I'll say majority.
Okay.
So in that process, if the attitude towards grabbing what you are being taught, trying to emulate what you have been taught, is not taken quickly or fast at a faster rate, they definitely finish the 3 years or whatever it is and come out having these lapses within. I hope you understand. And that is what sometimes may result in some of these numbers that we are seeing. I hope you understand me. It may not be the only problem. I say it may
be
not.
one of the problems.
Thank you.
So
then the other problem can, that's where I'm going.
Most of them are born.
So you may,
is that what you're saying?
Oh, come on. Haven't you seen a teacher a student sitting that you see that teacher is saying this, and you yourself you realize, no, this thing shouldn't go, this thing should go. Haven't you seen that before? Okay. That's what I'm telling you. If we are having this class of teachers entering the training, students entering the training schools, and with that attitude, they do not catch up in a faster pace, and then within the 3 years they come out with that door. That's all. Definitely you have such products. I hope you understand me.
I understand.
So in the first place,
but let me ask you this. I understand you perfectly. So why do we have the training colleges? Because they are supposed to go there and get better and come out.
I was asking a teacher, why is it that you have a class about 40 pupils and then some are lagging behind, and then when anytime I approach you, actually I'm a PTH, and I approach, anytime I approach you, you tell me they will pick. I say yes. In a class, you see the children, they are not the same. Some are fast learners, some may pick. Some when they have even gotten to a certain stage in the educational ladder, that is where they will pick. So don't put much pressure. You see, so the teachers themselves, they know the rate at which they say we are not equal at picking whatever we are being taught, but it moves as the ladder, the person climbs up the educational ladder. I hope you understand. That's what I'm saying. If the person, after entering the training college, does not pick up at a faster rate, and then he or she leaves the school, that dull thing, that thing is still there, and you may get such results. As I said, that may not be the only. We may have, as we said, the quality of stuff being delivered at the various schools also needs to be looked at, because you can't just throw that one to put it aside and no, it's always the students. No, let's look at what they are being taught. Let's look at that one too. So the system should be in such a way that we look at the content and the how the delivery is made to them to ensure that they understand what they are being taught. I'll be surprised if a teacher, you say you are out and you are being asked the benefit, three benefits of homework to teaching and learning, and you start with emotions, and then even the handwriting. I don't know if they will put it. Even the handwriting is something.
But we'll try and
Madam was just asking some questions, and I said, "Wow," yes, because he says either they do not understand the question, or and then the handwriting today also spoke about the handwriting that also so because handwriting you cannot see almost every word you can't see.
But these are people that we actually entrust our children to.
Hitherto, in the absence of this licensure, is that like these people are the ones going to the classroom to teach our children.
Well, there's a lot of questions here, especially let's even okay. So this is what it looks like on the screen. This is what the person's handwriting looks like. I don't know what the person was writing. Well, somebody will say you can't read a doctor's handwriting, but it looks like getting to the end of it, the person was either sleeping or dozing off.
No, getting to the end, you can you can't see anything. From the beginning, you can see emotions, you can see but getting to the latter part, you can't see, as if the scribbling. The best to describe what I was seeing down there.
Wow, I think it has to start from somewhere. It doesn't have to get to the licensure exams before we see
Thank you.
It has to start from these training colleges before you even allow them into it. Do they have entrance exams into the training colleges? And what is the marking criteria for them to get in there? When they get in there, what's the criteria for graduation as well before you allow them out there? Because seeing this, I mean, yes, like you said, most people will think that, you know, those who are not very intelligent are the ones, but we also have some smart ones who just love it. They have a passion for it.
Yes,
and so they go into it. But this is appalling. The numbers is a failure.
I think I would join your call that even when they are about to leave, there should be some system to sieve, so that it's not they will not just pass out wholesale. I mean, your performance should let you pass out before even you go and write your
okay. Finally, you want to make a quick one? All right.
So over 6,000 students basically failed. Okay, and we're shown one, you know, paper. I think we need
another one to hear.
No, it's fine. I'm coming. I just want to come into it. See, what you have to understand, what I just looked at, and the latter part, what was actually written, it looks ridiculous to think that, you know, a teacher could have actually written this. You see, first of all, what is the name of the student who wrote this? We need to know that. We need to know what is the source, which school, which paper this is. You can't just throw things like this out there, and you know, it's just appalling. Because my daughter would not even write like this. So this is ridiculous. I don't want to believe this. You know, it could be, but I'm saying that it is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Give us a source. Tell me this is the name of the student. This is the school he's coming from. This is the paper he's writing. Then we can actually interrogate this.
You ought to also protect the identity of the person, because this is somebody who has gone into the exams room to write an exam. The person can fail on their account, but you don't put it in the public domain.
So don't put it here. Don't tell us.
It's on Adum online, though.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just saying that, look, it is unacceptable when you don't have the entirety of the details. Because we can't tell.
But it's a sample. We get to know what the problem is, so we can solve it.
I can get a paper and write something here, take a picture and put it on social media.
So you're saying it could be
I'm saying that.
Oh, why? I'm telling you, we've seen things. We've seen media houses do stuff.
No, Adum will not do that. Adum is a multimedia group,
listen,
and we will not put anything out that is not factual.
I agree. I'm just saying that. I'm saying that. This is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you that to just put this out there without extra details, for me, it's kind of a bit worrying for me. Now, the other thing is this. If the government, this is why I always have a problem with the MPP government. If the government sat down, okay, say this has been going on for all these years. These are the same teachers over the years who have been teaching our GSS students, who have been teaching our SS students, who go through high school, who go through GSS, they pass their exams, they get to high school, they pass, they get to the university, they move. If for certain reasons you have come to a conclusion that yes, there is a problem, the first thing you do is that you go back to the system that is already training them. It's a process. You go back to that system and say, okay, when you go through the training colleges, you're supposed to do 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. This is how much time you're supposed to spend. Within that 3 years, 4 years, this is the kind of education we want to give you. You don't sit back and create a system that will that would allow people to basically be placed in an examination hall to see how perfect they are, to see how good they are after they're done with school.
Right. Anyway, let's see what the future holds. Maybe there'll be another reset, but this is telling us that we do have a problem that ought to be solved. Anas Arimiyawa Anas has come out and he says that I will shake Ghana's foundation before 2024 elections with corruption expose. What kind of expose are we looking at, Solomon? Have you seen it? Have you seen this article?
Yes, I have had a look at the article. Actually, he didn't give any, in the article that I read, I didn't see any detail.
Yes, and
I was asking myself, is it going to be like the one that the recent one or the most recent one that he did at the Accra International Conference Center, where the expectation of many were turned. You know, when they high expect because of the promotions that they made towards that very one, and where they realized, look, it has nothing to do with the promotion that we were seeing. So it's because that what he described as shaking the foundation of the nation. It's like when they say, does this shake the foundation of the nation? I mean, I pray this time around it brings out something better to redeem his image, because the last one, when we were coming out of the...
You really want him to bring out something, but what if it could affect, MPP in 2024?
NDC in Ghana, which is supreme. MPP in Ghana, which is the supreme.
You prefer Ghana?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yes.
You're the first politician I have saying
No. Let's put, this is politics. And before politics, my country Ghana is prime.
Wow.
Prime. My country Ghana is prime. Oh, yes. So if it will affect MPP, should MPP say it will affect us? Let him bring. I'm praying that this time around it brings out something that sort of will be different from what we saw the other time. Because the other time it puts most of us, I mean, over thousands of people, hundreds of people who came out from the auditorium were saying, is this what he made noise about? How we came to spend our time, that sort of. So I pray this time is something better. Though he didn't give details, all that he said was he's going to shake the nation, which we heard. I pray this time around it will be something better.
Adele?
So I keep getting people talking about, politics, but they make it look like it's some weird kind of job, and then they go like, oh, don't politicize. What is politics? What is politics? I mean, I think we need to start looking at these issues a bit differently. Listen. If something is going wrong in the country, and I have an opportunity to sit on Joy Prime in the morning with a fine gentleman like Solomon to discuss these issues, we're discussing politics because it has to do with governance, because it has to do with the country. That's the kind of conversation we're having. It's not an evil job. People make it look like it's an evil job. Look, some years back, our parents, when I say our parents, I mean we the Muslims, felt that it was actually unacceptable for their sons and daughters to become lawyers. You know why? Because they say, and they believe, sincerely, I'm telling you, 50, 60 years back, they believed that to be a lawyer is to be a liar.
Oh, wow.
Because you would have clients who perhaps commit crimes, still come to you, and then you have to defend. So for them, it was unacceptable. It's a kind of job that don't even go into it. But look, if you can be a liar, you can be a lawyer and basically speak to issues as they are and take clients who you sincerely believe are not guilty and then defend them. There's nothing wrong with that.
But could it also be that, your predecessors set a certain tone and have created that kind of image in the eyes of people? Because, like I was saying, we've had politicians who will say that, we see the thing as a lie. We see it and we are still lying. And we even go ahead and put our lives on the line. You know what I mean?
So that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying that, yes, as much as we have all these, mentalities out there, people are basically, I'm just saying the job in itself is an opportunity to serve. It is an opportunity to serve. It's an opportunity to help people. It is an opportunity to bring on board whatever skill you have to benefit not just yourself, not just your family, but the entirety of the country. And I keep telling you, look, we're doing this thing and I see all of us like a family. Like that man who has wives and kids, and we're all supposed to benefit from it. So whatever we can do to help, we help. Now, this issue of Anas Armiao, anytime it comes up, it hits me. It really, really hits me. You know why? Because I've seen a president who has indicated in opposition that given the opportunity, I'd like to use the Anas principle. We've seen Ahmed Swali murdered in cold blood. Till date, nothing. He's a journalist. Imagine being murdered for your job, being murdered for speaking the truth. I mean, it's just that's like extreme. Someone who has wife and kids. But you see, we cannot get the reality of issues. There are certain issues you just cannot get its information if you don't go undercover. It's just not possible.
And it's part of the job.
It's part of the job. It's not possible. You can tell me that if I suspected, and I said this the last time, if I suspected someone is here and the person is a criminal, or the person probably sells drugs, or the person is probably murdering people in their houses, I have to walk to him and ask him, are you a murderer? Who does that?
What do you think can shake Ghana? What level of corruption? What haven't Ghanaians seen?
Listen, I think at this point, what we have seen is enough to shake this country, except for people are not angry enough. If you have a daughter, every time people walk up to you and say, I saw your daughter at Circle around 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Your daughter comes home at 10 p.m. You see she came home at 10 p.m. The next day someone comes to tell you, I saw your daughter, by the sides of Odona, around 11 p.m. So, and then each time you say it's a lie. There will be that day you would come to know this is the truth, and that will be the day she probably has HIV or she's probably pregnant. So, Alistair Matthias is a lie. Professor Frimpong Boateng is a lie. And as Army does his investigations, Kennedy Japan comes at him and says it's a lie. Everything that has ever come to this government is a lie. Which one is ever the truth? We allow for investigations, we allow for people to be punished. Why we have a constitution is not because we want to basically, that will stop the crime. No, the crime would happen. Crimes happen in the US. They have the most sophisticated systems, but it does still happen. It is not the crime, it is how you punish the crime.
Okay, a few messages coming in. Solomon Asante is being emotional about his licensure exams thing. Stop disgracing teachers. No teacher would write such nonsense. Okay. Correct Score Zakari Sunyani says, hey, today the reckless, incompetent naysayers and PP are admonishing the media and rating agencies to be circumspect in their reportage under duress. Is it not true COVID-19 monies were shared to party members? It's true. Visionless Nana Bawumia pumped 7 million Ghana cedis into Galamsey fight, failed and chopped. $1 million per constituency failed. They chopped the money. It's true. Nana Bawumia took cedi dollar to, okay. All right. So he says in the end, he says, vote Mahama 2024. All right. Hello, good morning. Please, I want to ask whether those who wrote the licensure exams are graduates of the colleges or the universities. The last time I checked, the last batch of colleges wrote their licensure exams in September 2020, and their juniors are yet to write theirs. And this is actually a reset. Darling. This is a reset. So those who failed are the ones who wrote. So the education system failure is nothing new. The hypocrisy of our nation is clear. A student graduates from KNUST or Legon and you are told you did not read an educational course. Okay, so that studying for 4 years is Adidas, right? Foundations are important even before anything. So Jesus says these Pharisees are blind guides leading blind people. Ghanaian corrupt activities can only be shaken by revival. Nothing transforms a man than Christ Jesus. Every other decision is all based on reformations. Okay. Hi, please. The exams is not written by College of Education alone. Rather, universities also write it. Do well and let's hear the statistics. Mr. Ben inside Edum. Okay. A lot of teachers are coming with their comments. Good morning. It's very sad to see such a failure in our education system, but it's not only because our colleges of education teachers, all tertiary institutions offering education as well. Felix from Kita. All right, Felix. Good morning. I'm Enes, a trained teacher doing my national service, and our batch has not yet written our license exams. If NTC has been able to come out with a number of failures, why can't they publish the names of those teachers who failed and a particular paper he or she failed, rather than saying on all television stations in Ghana accusing teachers? Right. I'll take just one more message and we go. Ishuaba Anelka says the people of Asin North constituency have decided not to vote for any potential jail man. John Mahama and the NDC should know we are governing the country with the 1992 constitution. So the noise are too many. The people are saying they need a better and perfect person like Honorable Charles Opoku who can lobby for projects to their constituency. Ishuaba Anelka. All right. Let me see if I have another message coming in. Okay, so you can also send in your messages and we will read it live on air. Our next conversation happens to be with the E-Block. We know that the E-Block has been left for a while, but hooray! The education minister has said that, I think 60 have been completed and they are still working on the rest so that we can have the children use these blocks again. Let me start with you, Solomon. Your take on it?
Well, I would say, since governance is a continuous business, it's good that His Excellency, the former President John Dramani Mahama, started this e-blog. He got some way, at least before leaving office, he had completed 29.
43.
29.
43.
29.
Okay.
And then when this new administration, I mean, Nanado's administration came over, they also tried to complete.
Why are you saying Nanado's administration? Why are you not saying the NPP administration?
He is the head.
Okay.
When I was speaking, I didn't say NDC, I said His Excellency, the former President.
Okay.
So I want to refer to the figures leading
the names,
various,
rather. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
So if you want me to put it that way, NDC did.
It's fine.
29
It's
and
fine.
NPP has that. So, in fact, it's on record that as at October 2022, that's last year, 2022, by 2020, it was reported in 2022 October that by 2020, 30 plus the 29 had been completed, where 14 were being funded by the GET Fund, and then the 16 by the World Bank. I hope you understand me. So it means there has been progress in there, and I think a typical one is the one at Aplao, which became very gains its notoriety in the system. I mean, and then it said that the GET Fund also terminated 27 e-blocks. That's why you have to terminate 27 e-blocks too as well. And then there was, according to the 2021 budget, there was a statement that the president made that as at that time, as at that 21, when the budget was being read, 31 of the e-blocks under the secondary education improvement program, and as part of the increased efforts to provide infrastructure in implementing the free
But you know, as of now, what the minister is saying is 60 have been completed out of 200.
That is it.
Okay.
And that 60 includes the 29 that out of the 200, 60 has been completed. The 29 was touched on or completed by
the NDC
and then under the NPP. That's why the president is saying 31. Okay. 31 of the e-blocks have, so 31 plus the 20, of course, gives us the 60. I think it's a commendable thing, because hardly sometimes we find government projects, monies have been pumped in, and then when another government comes, he does not want to. In fact, the desire to continue becomes something. I mean, there's no desire to continue. But today, if we have such a thing, that tremendous figure, in fact, what the number added on is just even a little more than that, what was actually done within this system. I think it's an improvement on our governance system. I urge that government that comes after government will try to do that, because if we take some of our infrastructure which are stored in the bush, let's say when this housing project, by then the housing minister was Honorable Hakuma Ajima, this Mampon, we have some housing projects which were left for some time and it wasn't
the Saglemi housing and all of that.
I hope you understand the Saglemi. That what I don't want to mention it, because that which we devoted $200 million for, and then for 5,000 units, and then it turned out that we have used the same amount for less than 1,000. I mean, it beats mine, so I just want to. I don't want to go there. I hope you understand. Yes, but you see, I want us to continue with the culture of continuance in government, especially.
You ought to contest to be a member of parliament, because your mindset is not about the party that you represent, but your mindset is more about Ghana.
Ghana first, yes.
Wow. Anyway, a message coming in. Let's stop politicizing our education system. Ordinarily, the brilliant SHS students, graduates, go to the university, and the average go to the training colleges. The resulting effects are obvious. This is from Major Nyane in Takrade. Okay, Major, thank you so much for sending messages. Good morning. Please tell the NPP communicator to retract what he said. Average people go to training colleges. Now, you see, Major also said the same thing. This is not coming from just Solomon. He said he should go for their wish results and check what their free SHS is doing to the nation. These people are destroying our education system for us. He should admit they have failed us rather than trying to defend this with a lie. Samuel Tete says President Mahama built the e-blocks. President Addo sees them as enemy's effort. He would not complete them. Thanks. Okay, but he started completing them actually. Adele, your take.
Rosalind, the problem I have envisaged over the years is the fact that I believe the MPP government, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, and I say His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo in Bawumia because we've seen Kufuor and we saw what he came to do, under the MPP. I think they just basically refused not to listen. We were sold two people. One of them who is said to be an economic guru, and another one who is said to be incorruptible, and is somebody that thinks about the state, and his major interest is in how to see Ghana thrive. And nothing beats my mind like the kind of jokes we have today in our educational system. It's the same educational system we're discussing this morning, this licensure exams and the likes. Someone sat down, thought about the fact that in our constitution, it has indicated that there has to be a free, progressive senior high school. The Constitution says it. It is mandatory. We have to give it to them. For so many years, we have not succeeded in doing that. He says, okay, in order for us to be able to do that, we must be able to first expand. So in expansion, let's try and build senior high schools. We started 43, he says 29. 29 is what was completed with desks, chairs, and everything. What we completed was 43. The rest of them were those that you need to just put chairs, computers, and the likes into them. 49, not 23. 23 completed, yes, desk. Look, Chinrede.
So you are saying that 20, he said 29. So you are saying 29 was completed and fully finished.
Fully finished.
So the ones that were not fully finished are actually 43.
43.
Okay.
There were excesses which were not fully finished. I remember as far back as 2016, somewhere around October, November, I was part of the team that actually sent to Bamianko Chinrede.
Okay.
Furnitures and the likes, from Ashford. We basically just went and then we did computers and the likes. So yes, then you come to government. You're the one, we say, let's do it small. How do we do it small? Let's target needy but brilliant students. Adele can pay his children's school fees. Rosalind can pay her kids' school fees. Solomon can pay his kids' school fees. There's this charcoal seller who perhaps cannot pay. So for that fact, let's look for that charcoal seller and let's do this within the districts. So we came with the Secondary Education Improvement Program, which is the SAPE. It was under that program we decided to do these, the e-blocks. So once we start picking these children from the districts and then training them small, it will come to a time where those who are lagging behind would now form that force and they were able to go forward. You say, no, you have to do it wholesale. Your finance minister sat on Metro and said, look, I can pay my school fees. I can pay my kids' school fees. I can pay for 23 others. Allow me to do that. You say no. Why do we, Solomon, back in the day when we had students up in the north who were given, free education. Why? Because we thought that they were underprivileged, right? So we needed to give them. That is what you do. You take from those that have it and then you support those that don't have it. Because we can't all be the same. Religiously, that is how it's supposed to be. Running the state, that is how it's supposed to be. You take from those who have a little, who are willing to sacrifice a little, like the finance minister, willing to pay for 23 other students. He's willing to give back. So take from those who have it. That is why you have multimedia. We say, oh, social responsibility. Why? Why don't you carry your social responsibility and take it to Jubilee House or give it to Despite? You need to look for the poor. So we're saying, let's build the schools. Let's target those who are poor. You said no, wholesale.
But is it not a good thing that the e-blocks are, being completed now so that we can have children go to school and have good classrooms?
Rosalind, you see, I agree with you. Better late than never.
Right.
I agree. But if you have an opportunity, especially at the time when you have an opposition that keeps calling your mind to something, you can do something about it. You should do something about it as early as possible. I have kidney problems. I have liver problems. I can be taken to the hospital and taken care of. Someone says, oh yes, he has kidney, he has liver. However, no problem. Let's allow him to keep taking the sugars. Let's allow him to keep taking the meat. With time, we'll do it. And then you wait. When it's time for dialysis, you say you're bringing the machine.
Anyway, gentlemen, thank you so much. So I'll let you give your final take, but I want to say thank you for being here today. So my guests have been Solomon Asante, who represented the NPP, is part of the communications team, and also Adele Umar Ibrahim, who represented the NDC. Now you can give your final take before you go.
I want to ask, for how long should those in the deprived area, those in the north, continue with their free education for those in the southern sector to always contribute to that? For how long? It started from the days of Kwame Nkrumah. How many years down the line? Sure, it gets to a point we need to take the bull by the horn to start something. Truly true to the vision of the president, this free SHS started unfolded in 2017 September. Until now, yes, we had challenges like the extra classrooms, extra dormitories, and with time, most of the secondary schools have gotten these structures in place. We started with the double track system, and today it is shaping up. I mean, gradually. But if you say, well, wait, look, you put up these blocks there, and if we don't have people occupying, you know, one thing about structures, when you put, especially the concrete blocks, when you put it down for a very long time, there is no occupation. People are not occupying it. It starts cracking here, and you know that thing. So how long would we put all these blocks at 200? When we finish, they say, oh, now this structure is a so let's start doing this. How long should that continue?
Okay.
To cause financial loss to the state or what?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Adele, your final take.
Rosalind, no one is saying free SHS is not good. No one is saying we have to build 200 schools before we start. In fact, when we started the E-blocks, we actually started the process of taking the poor. So we started a free progressive senior high school. We started. We only were targeting, oh yes, we did. We only were targeting the poor ones to be able to do with them. You came and said wholesale. So no one is saying it is unacceptable. I'm only telling you, Solomon, that certain things are avoidable. There are certain things you can basically just avoid. You don't need rocket science to avoid them. Certain things you can just do it right. You know, okay, we need space. Just create the space.
Okay.
And then we can pick it up.
You didn't start the free SHS. Even the one that you say you were paying.
Anyway, thank you so much, gentlemen, for being here. There's another message coming in. The last message coming in says, greetings JP, good discussion. What at all NDC can offer Ghanaians at this time that they are hungry for so long? They could have done it before they left power in Ghana. Let's be wise enough to stop NDC with lies. The hard hawk never prays foul whenever it dance. All right. Anyway, let me read my last message. That was the last message. So today I promised to read messages. Why should teachers take this licensure exams after writing all these examinations when they were in school? The NPP government used the strategy to minimize the number of postings. No teacher failed. They failed us. Okay.
Is it
the messages are coming. I can't finish all the messages. So let me say a very big thank you.